Welcome to Mojo Travels, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 best street food countries.
Are you a fan of our videos? Be sure to subscribe to Mojo Travels and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.
For this list, we're looking at nations around the world that have distinguished themselves as foodie destinations. We're not interested in gourmet establishments and trend-setting experimental cuisine, however. This list is all about food hawkers, tiny hole-in-the-wall takeout spots, and food carts. Number 10. South Africa. We begin our food journey in the southernmost nation of Africa. The country is best known for its safaris, adventure activities, and breathtaking natural spaces. In the bustling cities of Johannesburg, Durban, and Cape Town, however, South Africa is also distinguishing itself as a culinary capital to watch. Yes, there are very exciting things being done in brick-and-mortar establishments, but some of the country's best bites are actually being served at street level. There is perhaps no dish that you're likely to see more of while exploring South Africa than bunny chow, curry stuffed into a hollowed-out loaf of bread. Humble? Yes, but also convenient, filling, and freaking delicious. Pulling influence from various indigenous groups, as well as Indian and French cuisine, the street food of South Africa encompasses everything from local jerky, or biltong, roti and various grilled meats, to sweets like melk turt and malva pudding. Number 9. Turkey. Located on the border of Western Asia and Southeastern Europe, Turkey is certainly a blend of cultures. A crossroad of civilizations dating back thousands of years, it's a destination impossibly rich in history and culture. This saturates Turkey at every level, right down to the most humble of street foods. In Istanbul, the go-to grab-and-go snack is simit, a baked good that's somewhere between a pretzel and a bagel. Vendors are seemingly on every street corner, but simit by no means has a monopoly. Other popular street foods include durum, a flatbread wrap filled with donar kebab meat, and soot misir, corn on the cob. Fish might not be the first protein that comes to mind when you think of street foods, but in Turkey, balık ekmek is ubiquitous, especially along the coast. Who knew that fried and grilled fish in a bun could be this good? Commonly called Turkish pizza abroad, lahmacun is another must-try. Number 8. Thailand. Though Vietnam certainly gives it a run for its money, Thailand is at the top of the heap when it comes to diverse and delicious cheap eats in Southeast Asia. Seriously, Thailand even boasts a Michelin-starred street food institution, J Phi. With so many dishes to choose from, and with each city having its own specialties to choose from, however, it pays to do your research ahead of time. Thai cuisine doesn't shy away from sweetness, but that's often there to help balance out serious heat, so consider yourself warned. Pothead or not, you will fall in love with Thai street food. Pad Thai and Pad See Ew are the country's biggest culinary exports, but you haven't tried the real thing until you've had it from a street vendor. Som Tam is a papaya salad to die for, Tom Yum Goong is the only soup you'll ever need, and Pad Kra Pao Mo might just change your life. As for the regional specialties, you'll just have to try them for yourself. Number 7. Morocco. This North African nation is often described as a feast for the senses. Its bazaars and marketplaces indeed live up to the hype. And with so much in the way of historic architecture, the description can be applied in more ways than one. That being said, street food makes Morocco quite a literal feast for your mouth and taste buds. Inexpensive, grab-and-go bites of traditional Moroccan cuisine can be found all across the country. But nowhere will you have a greater concentration of options than in the bustling marketplaces. Arguably the most famous of its kind, Jemaa El Fna Square in Marrakesh is the place to go for the very best street food in the country. The sheer variety of dishes is awe-inspiring. The vendors are selling everything from fresh juice and simple baked goods like spenge to babouche, steamed snails, and sheep's head. Sardines, merguez sausage, and harira are all must-tries. Got a sweet tooth? Don't miss the brewat and spekia. Number 6. United States. Yes, street vendors have long been hawking hot dogs, peanuts, and pretzels in major American cities. The end result can make the US feel like one big ball game, and that's not a bad thing. As you travel the country, however, every city has its own local specialties, like the Philly cheesesteak. As you navigate the Southwest, tacos take over, while in the East, Cuban and Puerto Rican fare becomes a staple of street vendors. Being the melting pot that it is, the United States has seen its street food grow ever more diverse and tantalizing with each wave of immigration, as new residents bring the dishes and flavors of their homelands with them. Adding to America's street food prowess, of course, is the food truck boom, which happened bigger and better in the United States than arguably anywhere else. Street food in America isn't rooted in a single culture. It's a smorgasbord of international flavors in convenient packages. And let's not forget carnival food. Number 5. Singapore. The city-state of Singapore is best known for its high-end, modern experiences. From fine dining and trendy nightlife to its cutting-edge architecture and incredible green spaces, it's largely defined order and elegance. As such, this might come as a surprise, but it should not be missed by anyone who loves street food. Given that Chinese residents represent the largest ethnic group, the food courts of Singapore often feel like the world's greatest Chinatown. With Singapore being such a melting pot of Asian cultures, it's also a great place to get an international sampling, specifically Southeast Asian cuisine. Hainanese chicken rice, tar kway teow, and nasi lemak, these are really just your entry point to everything Singapore has to offer. While the vendors here borrow liberally from other cultures, many of the preparations you find here have evolved into something distinctly Singaporean, like sambal stingray, a local Malay invention. Number 4. India. There are a few places on Earth where you can eat better for less. If you're happy to skip the high-end gourmet experiences, you can easily keep your dining budget to a few dollars a day. To be clear, this is not a compromise. It's arguably the best education in Indian food a traveler can get. With so much variation between the different regional cuisines of India, it pays to travel around the country and taste the difference for yourself. That being said, one could easily spend 2 weeks exploring the street food vendors of Mumbai and never have the same thing twice. Follow the crowds and you're sure to find something new and delicious around every corner. Aloo tikki is a crisp fried potato fritter that goes great with a variety of sauces. Pani puri and dahi puri are 2 local favorites that you never have to look too hard to find. When you need to cool down, grab yourself an ice gola. In India, it's the simplest dishes that often make the biggest impression. Number 3. Japan. It's easy to spend a small fortune on food when traveling in Japan. There's no shortage of iconic sushi establishments that trade in once-in-a-lifetime experiences. But one can eat just as well sticking to the street food scene, which makes for an impressively diverse culinary odyssey. As you pass street vendors grilling up all varieties of meats and savory sauces, yakitori, just try not to get hungry. Takoyaki are small fried balls of batter with morsels of seafood in the center. They're a testament to the fact that the intricacy of Japanese cuisine equally extends to street-side vendors. For a quick but filling dose of carbs, you can't go wrong with yakisoba noodles. Grilled corn might not sound very exotic, but yaki tomorokoshi, with its soy sauce and mirin glaze, might have you reevaluating your commitment to butter and salt. From savory bite-sized snacks like gyoza and korokke, to sweet Japanese crepes and candied fruit, Japanese street food consistently delivers. And don't worry, Japan makes sushi work as a street food too. Number 2. Mexico. Mexican cuisine has made its way around the world in the form of tacos, burritos, and fajitas, and rightfully so. But because of the popularity of its most iconic dishes, the diversity of Mexican cuisine often goes underappreciated by the masses. The quickest way to solve this issue? A street food tour. Mexico City is experiencing something of a cultural renaissance right now, and that thankfully extends to the street food. You see, street food is a deeply entrenched part of Mexican culture, with many stalls going back generations. Street food isn't just for tourists, it's an intrinsic part of local life and dining habits. Tamales might be a humble dish, but every vendor puts their own little spin on these wonderful steamed bundles of masa dough. Tortas, sopes, gorditas, elotes, birria, huaraches. There are tons of dishes to discover. Food is highly regional in Mexico, so while you may be tempted to focus on the dishes you know best, you're robbing yourself of an opportunity by skipping regional specialties. Like Oaxaca's tlayudas. These tostadas are topped with cheese, meat, and mole sauce. Number 1. China. Long the reigning champ, China maintains its crown as the place to go for street food. Regional cuisine is something to be mindful of whenever taking a food-centric trip, and there are few nations with more distinct regional specialties than China. As such, there are dishes to prioritize in every city as you travel the country. In Shanghai, scallion pancakes and radish fritters are the go-to orders. Chengdu is the heart of Sichuan, and as such, dandan noodles are a must-try, though liangfen, a mung bean dish, is another staple of local hawkers. In Yunnan, Urquhart rice cakes are the top pick, while Hong Kong surpasses all challengers for the best wonton soup. Beijing is best known for shuar and jingbean, but it's such a foodie mecca that the options are truly overwhelming. As such, we highly recommend discovering the best of Chinese street food by joining a food tour.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from Mojo Travels, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.